The boutique went silent. Not the polite kind of silence. The kind that presses against your ears, heavy and uncomfortable. The woman stood at the counter, calm, unshaken, her worn coat still draped over her thin shoulders. Across from her, the manager's face had drained of color. His lips trembled as he stared at the receipt in his hands. A receipt with 7 digits. Behind him, the same employees who had laughed minutes ago now stood frozen, eyes wide, mouths dry, fear creeping into every breath. The woman finally spoke. Her voice was soft, controlled, and devastating. I'll take everything. The humiliation. Int. Luxury boutique. Afternoon. The boutique vrit smelled like money. Leather. French perfume. Polished marble floors that reflected crystal chandeliers above. Every dress on display cost more than an average person's monthly rent, some a year's salary. Behind the counter stood Brian Whitmore, 35, the manager. Tailored suit, gold watch, a man who measured people the moment they walked in. To his right, Camille, 27. Perfect makeup, bored eyes, entitlement stitched into every movement. Near the racks lingered Lena, 23, new, nervous, observant. The bell over the door chimed. Everyone glanced up. The woman who entered didn't belong. At least, that's what Brian decided in the first half-second. She wore a faded brown coat, shoes scuffed at the toe, hair pulled back simply, no salon shine, no designer bag dangling from her arm. She paused just inside the door, taking in the space quietly. Camille leaned toward Brian, whispering. Camille, low, amused. Did we change locations? I didn't realize we were a thrift store now. Brian smirked. Brian, give her 5 minutes. She'll leave on her own. The woman walked slowly between the racks, fingertips brushing fabric gently. Silk, cashmere, satin. Not greedy. Not desperate. Curious. Respectful. Camille watched her like she was something that had crawled in. Camille, should I tell her the prices now or let her embarrass herself first? Brian chuckled softly. Brian, let's see how brave she is. The woman stopped at a navy silk dress. Elegant, minimal, timeless. She lifted it slightly, checking the stitching. Woman, excuse me. May I try this one? Camille didn't move. She stared at the woman's hands, her coat, her shoes. Then she laughed, sharp, deliberate. Camille, that dress costs more than most people's cars. The woman met her gaze calmly. Woman, I understand. Camille raised an eyebrow. Camille, do you? Brian stepped forward now, smiling the kind of smile used to dismiss. Brian, Miss, this store specializes in exclusive clientele. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable somewhere else. The woman looked around the boutique again, then back at him. Woman, I'm comfortable here. A couple browsing near the mirrors snickered quietly. Camille crossed her arms. Camille, trying things on requires intent to purchase. The woman nodded. Woman, that's reasonable. Camille scoffed. Camille, then you won't mind telling us how you plan to pay. Silence. Lena shifted uncomfortably. Lena, Camille. Brian cut her off with a look. The woman reached into her coat slowly. Camille leaned forward, whispering loudly. Camille, what do you think, cash? Coins? The woman pulled out a simple card holder. She placed it gently on the counter. Woman, like everyone else. Brian barely glanced at it. Brian, I don't think we need to waste time here. The woman's eyes hardened just slightly. Woman, is this how you treat all your customers? Brian straightened. Brian, customers buy things. Camille laughed again. Camille, and judging by you, this place is a bit aspirational. The word hung in the air like poison. Lena couldn't take it anymore. Lena, she asked to try on a dress. That's all. Brian turned sharply. Brian, do you want to keep your job? Lena went quiet. The woman picked up the navy dress again. Woman, I'll try it elsewhere. Camille smirked in victory. Camille, good choice. The woman paused at the door. Turned. Her gaze swept the room slowly. Woman, you know it's funny. Brian sighed. Brian, Miss, we're busy. She smiled. Not kindly. Woman, you should be very careful who you underestimate. She left. The bell chimed again. Camille laughed. Camille, wow, that was painful to watch. Brian shrugged. Brian. People like that like to pretend. Lena stared at the door long after it closed. Something about the woman didn't feel finished. The return. 10 minutes passed. Then the bell chimed again. The woman was back. But this time, she wasn't alone. Behind her walked a man in an immaculate suit. Tall, calm, expensive, and behind him, two more. The boutique's atmosphere shifted instantly. Brian's smile faltered. Camille straightened. The man stepped forward. Mun, good afternoon. My client would like to make a purchase. Brian forced a laugh. Brian, of course. We'd be happy to help. The woman removed her coat slowly. Underneath, she wore a simple black dress. Elegant. Intentional. She met Camille's eyes. Woman, I changed my mind. Camille swallowed. Camille, about? The woman's voice was calm as glass. Woman, I don't want just one dress. Brian frowned. Brian, miss, perhaps we should start small. The man placed a folder on the counter. It opened. Numbers filled the page. Brian's breath caught. Mun, she'll take everything currently on the floor. Silence. Brian, I'm sorry. The woman stepped closer. Woman, every dress, every shoe, every accessory. Camille laughed nervously. Camille, this is a joke. The man slid the card holder forward. Black, minimal, heavy. Brian recognized it. His hands began to shake. Mun, run it. The receipt. Int. Vérité boutique. Continue. The card reader beeps. Once. Twice. Brian stares at the screen like it might explode. Camille's smile is frozen. Too wide. Too fake. Trembling at the corners. Lena stands slightly behind the counter, heart pounding. The machine chimes. Approved. The sound lands like a gunshot. Brian's knees nearly buckle. Brian, that can't be right. The suited man, MR, Hawthorne, 50s, meets his eyes coldly. Hawthorne, would you like to run it again? Brian swallows hard. Brian, no, that won't be necessary. Camille lets out a shaky laugh. Camille, this must be a temporary authorization. Stores like this have limits. Hawthorne slides another document across the counter. Hawthorne, there is no limit. Brian looks down. His face drains of color completely. The number at the bottom of the page is obscene. 7 figures. Camille leans in, reads it, and stumbles backward as if struck. Camille, oh my God. The woman watches them quietly. Not smug. Not smiling. Just observing. Woman, is there a problem? Brian straightens too fast, nearly knocking over the receipt printer. Brian, and no problem at all. We're just, honored. Camille rushes forward instantly. Camille, I'll start bagging everything. Should I bring champagne? The woman tilts her head. Woman, champagne? Camille nods desperately. Camille, we offer it to VIP clients. The woman pauses. Then, woman, I wasn't offered that earlier. Silence. Brian shoots Camille a warning look. Brian, that was a misunderstanding. The woman steps closer to the counter. Her presence suddenly feels enormous. Woman, was it? Brian forces a smile. Brian, of course. We treat everyone with respect here. Lena flinches. The woman turns her gaze to Lena gently. Woman, do you agree? Lena hesitates. This is the moment. Her voice shakes, but she speaks. Lena, no. Brian spins. Brian, Lena, you didn't treat her with respect. You mocked her. Camille scoffs weakly. Camille, that's not fair. The woman raises a hand. Instant silence. Woman, I don't need apologies. She looks at Brian. Woman, I need honesty. Brian's mouth opens, closes. Sweat beads at his temple. Brian, we misjudged you. The woman nods. Woman, yes, you did. She gestures to the racks. Woman, I'll take everything, as stated. Hawthorne nods. Hawthorne will also require an inventory list, a valuation breakdown, and the store's ownership documents. Brian freezes. Brian, ownership documents? Camille laughs nervously. Camille, wait, what does he mean ownership? The woman finally smiles. But it isn't warm. Woman, I'm not just buying the merchandise. The room stills. Woman, I'm buying the store. The reveal. Brian staggers backward, gripping the counter. Brian, That's not possible. The store isn't for sale. Hawthorne opens another folder. Hawthorne. Actually, it is. Brian's breath comes shallow. Hawthorne. Your parent company filed for quiet liquidation 6 weeks ago. Camille's eyes widen. Camille. What? Brian stammers. Brian. That hasn't been finalized. Hawthorne. It has now. He slides the final page forward. Hawthorne. Signed this morning. Brian reads. His hands shake so badly the paper rattles. Brian. This is a hostile acquisition. The woman corrects him calmly. Woman. No. She steps closer. Woman. It's a consequence. Camille sinks into a nearby chair. Camille. Who are you? The woman considers the question, then answers. Woman. My name is Elena Rowe. Hawthorne adds quietly. Hawthorne. Founder and CEO of Rowe Holdings. Lena gasps. Lena. Rowe Holdings? Camille's voice trembles. Camille. The investment firm? The woman nods. Elena. We specialize in luxury retail restructuring. Brian's knees finally give. He collapses into the chair behind the counter. Brian. You came here on purpose. Elena doesn't deny it. Elena. I came here as a customer. She looks at Camille. Elena. I stayed to see who you really were. Camille begins to cry softly. Camille. I didn't know. Elena's voice sharpens. Not loud, just precise. Elena. You knew exactly what you were doing. The verdict. Elena turns to Hawthorne. Elena. Proceed. Hawthorne nods. Hawthorne. Effective immediately. Management is dissolved. Brian looks up. Eyes wild. Brian. You can't. Hawthorne. Security will escort you out shortly. Camille stands abruptly. Camille. What about me? Elena meets her eyes. Elena. You laughed at someone you thought was beneath you. Camille sobs. Camille. Please. Elena steps closer. Her voice drops. Elena. I know exactly how that feels. Camille freezes. Elena straightens. Elena. You're terminated. Camille collapses into tears. Security appears at the doorway. Brian is escorted out without another word. Camille follows, broken. The door closes. Silence. Only Elena, Hawthorne, and Lena remain. Lena's hands shake. Lena. I'm sorry for what they did. Elena studies her carefully. Elena. You spoke up. Lena nods. Lena. It wasn't right. Elena smiles softly for the first time. Elena. Would you like a promotion? Lena's eyes widen. Lena. What? Elena. Store manager. Lena gasps. Lena. I don't know what to say. Elena. Say yes. Tears fill Lena's eyes. Lena. Yes. The truth. Later. The boutique is quiet. Elena stands alone among the racks. Lena approaches carefully. Lena. May I ask you something? Elena knows. Lena. Why today? Elena exhales slowly. Elena. Because this was the first store that ever humiliated me. Lena's breath catches. Elena. 25 years ago. Same floors. Same mirrors. She touches the silk dress from earlier. Elena. I walked out crying. She meets Lena's eyes. Elena. I promised myself I'd come back. The message. The next morning. The boutique reopens. A new sign in the window. Verite, under new ownership. Everyone belongs. Elena stands outside, watching customers enter. Diverse. Ordinary. Human. Hawthorne joins her. Hawthorne. You could have destroyed them quietly. Elena smiles faintly. Elena. They destroyed themselves. She turns away. Her voice carries one final truth. Elena, viu. Never confuse appearance with worth. Some people walk in wearing nothing and leave owning everything.